Hello, friends. Today's story is called God's Children Want a King. Remember that boy, Samuel, who was raised by Eli the prophet? He tried really hard to follow God and do what was right. Well, Eli and his sons had died, and Samuel became Israel's priest. He loved God and he loved the people. He fasted, prayed, and celebrated God's feasts. Samuel told the people to get rid of evil sins. They must throw away their idols and return to God again. Samuel said, "We must worship only God, or the Philistines will be able to hurt us. Always love and worship God. Then he will protect us. Everyone meet me, and then I will pray for you. Let's fast and pray to God so he will forgive and protect us." God heard Samuel's prayers and made the Philistines all confused. Instead of hurting Israel, their own soldiers were bruised. The Philistines went back to their own country and didn't bother Israel anymore. Israel had peace all around, and no one bothered them at all. Samuel always fasted and prayed for the people. He traveled all around. Samuel judged the people throughout Israel. He kept them godly, safe, and sound. But eventually, Samuel grew old, and his sons were grown men. He made them leaders of the temple. But Samuel's sons cheated, lied, and stole. They didn't love God or bless the people. The people spoke to Samuel, "Your sons are very bad. They will not treat us fairly like you do. We want to be like the other nations. We want a king." This made Samuel very sad. He knelt down and prayed to God. He told God how the people wanted a king. God told Samuel to give the people what they wanted, but to warn them all of the trouble that a king would bring. Samuel did what God told him to do. He delivered God's message. A king will take our sons to raise his horses, plow his fields, and fight his wars. A king will take our daughters to work for him. They will bake and cook and do all the chores. A king will make the people give him their grapes and olives and wheat. A king will make the people give him their donkeys and cows, their goats and sheep. Even after Samuel told the people God's warning, they said, "We still want a king." They didn't care about the trouble a king would bring. Again, Samuel prayed to God. The people still want a king. God told Samuel, "Give the people what they want. Give them their king." Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good, does it? You will have to join us next week to hear the next part of this story. Here are some things we can learn today. First, because God never forces anyone to obey him, he let the children of Israel have a king. It doesn't sound like it was a good idea, though. Always remember that God knows what's best for us, even when we might not agree with him. And number 2, have you ever heard the expression, "The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence"? Do you know what that means? The Israelites felt that the other nations were better off because they had a man as their ruler. They wanted to be like everyone else. Israel wanted to depend on a man more than God. Always remember that God made you the way he wants you to be. You don't have to change to be like anyone else. Just be yourself, because God loves you just the way you are. Here's our verse for the week. "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." Psalm 139, verse 14.